I got my wisdom tooth pulled out this Saturday that just passed. Um, it was bad. Like I went for a whole entire week with this toothache that just refused to go away. It didn't matter if I took Tylenol. It didn't matter if I took Motrin. It did absolutely nothing for my toothache. If I ate something that was cold or I drank any kind of liquid that was not room temperature. I mean, even if it had like just 1 cube of ice or whatever, and it was just chill, it made it even worse. When I sleep at night, I roll over and I do all kinds of things, and I tend to end up laying on this side of my face, and that's where I had my tooth pulled. So when I woke up in the morning, it was like a killer. And I just went on for this whole entire week, and I was just complaining to everybody. I was like, I don't know what to do. Maybe, do you know something else that I could possibly take? I was thinking of the whole oral gel thing. Like I know the babies have little oral gel to help them when their tooth is coming in and stuff. That didn't help me either. That was like ridiculous. Even when I took the Tylenol and the Motrin, I probably had like 5 or 10 minutes of relief, and then it just kicked back in like worse than ever. The more talking that I did, the worse it was at the end of the day. So it was just like, it was a little hard to do my job because I'm so accustomed to talking to my patients, to their family, to the doctors, to my co-workers, everyone. And to have to find myself just limiting how much words that I use within that whole entire day because I knew that I was going to be punished for it later on my car ride home. It was just very uncomfortable. So finally, I had someone who was like, well, why don't, I had the same situation. Why don't you go ahead and go to your dentist and just have it pulled? And I'm like, but it could just be a toothache. Why do I have to pull it out? Like, couldn't I just, do something else for it? And they're like, no, you should get it pulled out. So then I ran into another person and they were like, yeah, you need to pull that out. So I'm like, all right, that's the consensus. Mind you, I don't even have a dentist. So I just went home that Friday, researched it online, saw what this office was closest to me that was actually open on a Saturday, and accepted walk-ins. So I found one, went over there bright and early. They opened at 9. I was there at like 8:50. And I was standing out there with the co-workers waiting for the manager, I guess, to come in and unlock the door. So as soon as I get there, I'm like, well, I have a toothache and it's not going anywhere. And I told them the whole entire story, and they were like, all right, well, we could definitely see you. We take walk-ins. It's kind of like emergency or whatever. So I do put paperwork and everything, and then the doctor goes and takes me to the back, and he's like, all right, well, tell me what happened. So I tell him the whole story also. And he, I don't like dentists, I guess, because they just get all in your face. The same thing when it comes to like going to the optometrist. They're just like all in your face, and it's just the most uncomfortable thing. So I'm laying there with my mouth wide open. He's looking, he was like, yeah, okay, is this tooth over here? And he like poked at it. It's like a reaction when he poked, like the nerves in my hand just just like backstab. I'm like, hello. I said, that's the tooth that hurts. Why don't you touch the top of the tooth? Why you got to touch the gums and everything? Because that's really what was killing me. Oh, and also because I wear retainers, right? So it was like when I put on the retainers at night, because I usually only wear them at night, it was literally like a battle going on, because what I noticed during the day, as this toothache was hurting, it was moving this particular tooth, this one right here, it was moving it forward, which was the tooth that I had a lot of problems with, is the reason why I went ahead and got braces. So it was moving it and making it crooked again. So when I put on my retainers at night, my retainers would push the tooth back. So I had this tooth growing in that was pushing it this way, and this one, my retainer, pushing it that way. It was like a war all night, and I swear to you, I could not sleep. I was like, I do not want to not wear my retainers and find myself having to go ahead and do braces or that Invisalign thing all over again, because that stuff is expensive. So I had to just tongue in cheek and take it. And I tell you, I kid you not, I just did not sleep. I tossed and turned like all night because I just couldn't sleep. And the retainer just made the aching even worse. It was like a throbbing, aching pain, and it just would not go away. So after he almost got backslapped, like backhand by me, he was like, okay, well, let's do an x-ray and see. So So he went ahead and they did the x-ray, and he was like, yeah, okay, that's your wisdom tooth and it's growing in. And he was like, wow, and you have a really bad cavity in there too. He was like, the best thing I would do would just to go ahead and have an extraction. And he was like, you can do that today or you can do it on Monday. And I'm thinking to myself, stay in pain until Monday, and especially I had another appointment on Monday. I was like, or do I just pull it out today? I'm like, I got the money, and we might as well go ahead and just yank this bad boy out because, So he does the whole lidocaine treatment, numbed like this whole entire side of my face and my tongue. And he went ahead and he was like, I mean, I didn't feel the pain, but I did feel the pressure of him like wiggling and everything. And then I heard something like something just crumbled. And I was like, oh my goodness, what happened? What happened? He's like, oh, nothing, or whatever. But then when I go to rinse out my mouth after he's pulled it out, I got like little chunks of my tooth. I'm spitting it out. And I'm just like, how can you tell me that that was nothing? That was my tooth that just like cracked while he was trying to pull it out. And he was having a really, really difficult time. He was like, the cavity is bigger than he really thought. And it was really hard. And it was holding it in place. And he was like, maybe we're going to have to take another x-ray so I can see the whole entire view. Because he only took an x-ray of just that area. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, Lord, please just let him be able to pull it out. I'm not trying to pay an extra like $80 for this other, x-ray. It's already expensive enough. But he managed to pull it out. And let me tell you, I took the pain medication Saturday and Sunday. And then by Monday, I really didn't need it anymore. It was more of like, because in fact, like I said, when I go to sleep, and I usually end up finding myself sleeping on this side. So when I woke up in the morning, it would be a little painful. So I would take something. But otherwise, for the rest of the whole day, I wouldn't have to take anything at all. So it really wasn't too painful after about, 2 days. And I followed doctor's order as far as the ice pack and everything. The only thing I didn't follow was, that whole, eat soup, room temperature, liquidy type of things and stuff. And I was like, mind you, I had gotten up so early, I didn't even have breakfast. I didn't have lunch because I was in pain, and also the side of my face was numb. So by dinner time, I was really, really hungry. And I was just like, soup is not gonna do it. Sorry. So I ended up having some steak and mashed potatoes. And let me tell you, it went down just fine. Her thing, she was telling me, was more like, well, you want to drink liquids, room temperature, nothing too hot, nothing too cold. And the fact that, because it's open, granted, she did do the suture and everything, but she was like, concerned that there might be some particles of food that might stay there or something like that, and you might end up finding yourself with a bad mouth odor. But I brushed my teeth very, very well. I gargled at least like 3 times to make sure that I got everything out. So I don't have any foul odor coming out of my mouth as far as I can smell, and other people that I've tested my breath on. And trust me, they did not volunteer. They didn't tell me that I had any kind of foul odor or anything coming from there. So I know I'm pretty much safe and that I was fine. The only thing now that's really, really annoying me is the suture, because I guess where he like closed it off, it's kind of like flapping around when I talk, and based on, with my tongue hitting across it. So I just feel it kind of like flapping, and it's just so annoying after a while. Like, I feel it right now. That's the only really annoying thing. Other than that, it's pretty good. So definitely I would say, if you guys have a wisdom tooth that's bothering the heck out of you and the pain just refuses to go away, have it pulled. Because the kind of pain that you have afterwards is one that actually does go away, and it doesn't last for very long. And once that pain is gone, you feel so much better, and it's like your life is back to normal again.